Mr. Tan Soo-jin, Chairman, Singapore Institute of Management Holdings Private Limited. Dr. Lee Kok Cheong, Chief Executive Officer, SIM Global Education. Scholars, guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SIM Scholarship presentation. This is a very special occasion for our scholars and their families. We will be awarding scholarships to 24 outstanding individuals, out of which 11 scholars are pursuing undergraduate programs and 13 scholars are pursuing diploma programs at SIM Global Education. To start the presentation, may I invite Mr. Tan Soo-jin to address us. Mr. Tan, please.
Fellow colleagues, scholars, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and a very warm welcome. We're gathered here to witness, as our MC has just said, a very significant event, the annual award of the SIM Global Education Scholarships. This year, besides the scholarships for SIM Global Education undergraduate programs, we will also be awarding, as was mentioned, for the first time, scholarships for our diploma program. Today, some 24 of our talented students will receive the scholarship awards. And to each of you and to your very proud family members present here, congratulations indeed. This year, SIM Global Education is giving out almost $430,000 worth of scholarships, the highest in recent years. Besides the scholarships, we are also giving bursaries to students with financial needs. Many institutions give out scholarships to students who deserve recognition and encouragement for doing well in their studies. But that is not the only reason behind SIM's scholarships. SIM is a unique organization with a unique social mission. SIM was started by the Economic Development Board some 53 years ago, 1 year before Singapore's independence, in order to help equip business leaders and managers with skills to support Singapore's modernization program. Most of you here were not born or were barely born during those years, but those of us who are a bit older like me will know that those were tumultuous years, challenging years, when we were faced with the need and the desire to become an independent nation. And out of it, therefore, came a need to have our own people take over the reins of leadership in business, in government, in all spheres of life. And that's what SIM was challenged to do. And since that time, our mission has evolved to be that of inspiring and empowering people like yourselves to push beyond your limits and to realize your potential and aspirations through education and lifelong learning. The scholarships we offer are, of course, part of our social mission of equipping you to go further in your pursuit of knowledge and skills. But having these so that you can fulfill your aspirations for a better life for yourself and your family is not the only end goal we hope for. More importantly, our goal is for you to apply yourself and what you've learned to make a positive difference to the world you live in. And for that reason, SIM does not believe in bonding you for your scholarship. We want you to be free to find your own niche out there when you can make your best contribution. And our scholarships are not just for those who are strong academically, that applies, but not only. Wherever your strengths or interests lie in your field of study, in sports or the arts, we believe you have a role and a place where your talents can be put to good use and to benefit others and our community at large. It is often said that those who have been given much is expected. You are a generation who has benefited much from the sacrifices of your generation before you, including your own parents, who have sacrificed a lot so that you can get to where you are today. And you are now given this scholarship in order to fulfill your dream. We have good faith that you will honor your parents and honor the spirit and mission of SIM. Take what you have been given to pay forward to the generation that comes after you. This year's scholarship, there are 24 scholarship recipients. They were chosen out of more than 500 applicants. The selection process was tough. We looked beyond the common denominator of good grades. We looked for people with a strong sense of mission and a strong sense of passion, and all-rounded qualities, including, of course, leadership. Above all, we look for people who best exemplify the SIM spirit of doing well in order to do good. People with a propensity to excel and a heart for social good. One such scholar this year is Silas Abdul Razak, who is pursuing an SIM RMIT business degree. Silas did not come from a financially privileged family. He stumbled in his studies in his early years. However, he did not let these challenges deter him from turning his life around. He was determined to catch up in his studies, and more importantly, he found his calling in hockey, and through it, found the confidence to excel. At the age of 15, he became the youngest member of the men's national hockey team. And at 17 years old, he was appointed the vice captain of the team representing Singapore at the inaugural Youth Olympic Games, and was one of 2 Singaporean torchbearers at the lighting up ceremony in Greece. At the recent SEA Games, Silas came together with his teammates, won the bronze medal, and did his country proud. It is my hope that Silas will go on to excel in his career, whatever he may choose to do, and in both his personal and community life later on. Silas' story of resilience, passion, and success is by no means the only one. All our scholars, I believe, have their own inspiring stories to tell us. I hope that during our tea reception afterwards, you will make it a point to meet one another, both to encourage and, of course, to be encouraged by one another. In conclusion, let me urge you once again to put your best effort not only to complete your studies and to do it well, but to be a positive force for other people. One way you can do is to give back. To give back is to start now. Don't wait for after you graduate. To be active in many student life activities that we have, to participate in helping make study and campus life interesting and fruitful for your fellow students, and upon your graduation, continue your engagement with SIM through the various programs that we have, such as our mentorship program that allows you to mentor, to inspire other SIM students who come after you. So keep in touch. We look forward to hearing your exciting next chapters. Thank you, and my heartfelt congratulations to all.
Thank you, Mr. Tan. SIM Global Education is the leading private education institution in Singapore. It offers more than 80 academic programs ranging from its diploma and graduate diploma courses to bachelor's and master's program with top-ranking and reputable universities from Australia, Europe, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Today, the scholarships are awarded to outstanding local and international students to pursue undergraduate and diploma programs at SIM Global Education. We would now like to invite Dr. Lee Kok Cheong, Chief Executive Officer of SIM Global Education, to present scholarships to the scholars who are pursuing diploma programs. The recipients of the scholarships are Callista Gracia Adriana. She will be pursuing the Diploma in International Business. Chin Kylie. She will be pursuing the Diploma in Accounting. Wen Tay Jia Rou, she will be pursuing the Diploma in Accounting. Nin A. Carey, she will be pursuing the Diploma in Management Studies. Su Pia Pia San, she will be pursuing the Diploma in Management Studies. Ye Dana Jo, she will be pursuing the Diploma in Banking and Finance. Thank you, Dr. Lee. It's now my pleasure to invite Ms. Callista Gracia Adriana to say a few words.
Mr. Tan Sujin, Chairman of Singapore Institute of Management Holdings Private Limited. Dr. Lee Kwak Cheong, Chief Executive Officer of SIM Global Education. Fellow scholars, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my honor to be part of this joyous occasion and to speak on behalf of the diploma scholars. Let me first congratulate my fellow scholars on receiving SIM scholarships. When I learned I had been awarded this scholarship, I felt proud and pressured at the same time. During my scholarship interview, the hardest question to me was, how will you contribute to SIM in the future? Standing here today, I may not yet know exactly how I can contribute to SIM in the future, but I intend to start now by doing what I can while I am here. I am grateful for this scholarship, as it will benefit me in many ways. Firstly, it is my source of financial relief. Secondly, it will provide me with the opportunities for improvement. And thirdly, it will motivate me in my studies. In short, I can summarize the benefits as I am. S is for source of financial relief. Many students graduate from college with a huge debt. I am fortunate as this scholarship will lessen my parents' burden as well as mine. With this no-bond scholarship, I can focus on my studies and on pursuing my career upon graduation, instead of thinking about how to repay my loan. I is for improvement. The value of the scholarship is more than the monetary sum that we are receiving. It is the opportunities and exposure for our personal development through different CCAs, workshops, or competitions during our journey here. For instance, through the various activities under the Student Representative Program, I have developed my confidence, leadership, and public speaking skills. Although I have only been at SIM for about 6 months, what I have learned, which is far beyond the academics, and have made me a much stronger person that I could have ever imagined. This learning process is especially valuable to me as a foreign student. Although the initial period of adjusting to a completely new environment was difficult, I now look back without regrets. M is for motivation. Knowing that I was granted this scholarship because of the potential SIM sees in me motivates me to study harder. As an SIMGE scholar, I expect myself to be a good role model, to put in more effort, and to perform better than my peers. I am motivated to prove myself worthy of the institution's investment. I would like to humbly confess that it is not just by my own efforts that I am standing here today. My gratitude goes to my parents, who have been my mentors throughout my life. They are the ones who saw the potential in me when I couldn't see it myself. They have been my pillar of strength as I challenge myself to always do better at every stage of my life. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for making me who I am today. I would also like to thank the scholarship panel for selecting me. At SIM, I am without doubt receiving a world-class education. SIM has provided me with a stepping stone to pursue my dreams and do what I love to do. Maya Angelou, an American poet and civil rights activist, once said, "When you learn, teach. When you get, give." As someone who has benefited much from my family and SIM, I will always remember that the best way for me to pay forward for my privileges is to give to others, now and in the future. I look forward to doing my best to contribute meaningfully to the welfare of my fellow students. To my fellow scholars, I would like to encourage you to do the same. With that, congratulations once again to all the scholars. I wish you the best as you embark on your journey as an SIM scholar. Thank you.
Thank you, Callista. We would now like to invite Dr. Lee Kok Cheong, Chief Executive Officer of SIM Global Education, to present the scholarships to the scholars who are pursuing undergraduate programs. The recipients of the scholarships are Chi Yen Ling. She will be pursuing the University of Wollongong's Bachelor of Science Psychology. Mu Thiri Kate. She'll be pursuing the University of London's Bachelor of Science Honours in Accounting and Finance. Ho Wei Min. He will be pursuing the University of London's Bachelor of Science Honours in Business and Management. Leong Wai Kit. He will be pursuing the University of Manchester's Bachelor of Science Honours Management International Studies. Lim Wei Ting. She will be pursuing the University of Manchester's Bachelor of Science Honours Management Human Resource. Prashant Kasavan. He will be pursuing the University of Manchester's Bachelor of Science Honours Management. Silas Abdul Razak bin Nusha. He will be pursuing the RMIT University's Bachelor of Business, Econs and Finance. Tan Min Yi. She has completed the University of London's Bachelor of Science Honours in Accounting and Finance. Zubia Aman, she will be pursuing the University at Buffalo's Bachelor of Arts, Communication and Psychology. Thank you, Dr. Lee. It is now my pleasure to invite Mr. Leong Wai Kit to say a few words.
Thank you. A very good afternoon to Mr. Tan Soo-jin, Chairman, Singapore Institute of Management Holdings Private Limited, Dr. Lee Kwok Cheong, Chief Executive Officer, SIM Global Education, SIM staff, fellow scholars, and our proud families and friends with us today. It's my pleasure to be here with you today as scholars of SIMGE to celebrate our academic and sporting excellence. Today, I want to share my story with you. A story about struggles, failure, and a rekindled drive. I learned a lot in fighting to overcome this failure, and I hope you learn from it as much as I did. All my life, I've never faced major setbacks. I had done well in school, well enough to get into the integrated program, and thereafter junior college. It was sometime in the middle of J1 that I started questioning what I was doing in JC. I knew that I wanted to start my own business, or at least study business. But none of the subjects I studied in JC allowed me to explore that passion. I lost interest in school, skipped classes, and left exam papers almost blank. My parents became regulars at the principal's office, to the point where he could recognize them at school events. It wasn't that I didn't have an excellent network. My parents put me through multiple tuition classes, and my friends offered to help me out in whatever way they could, be it sharing their notes or physically sitting me down to study with me. Nothing seemed to work, and I was convinced that it was due to my laziness. I genuinely believed that as long as I put in the effort, I could turn things around and attain the grades I worked for. I was wrong. Subsequent bad grades left me feeling miserable and helpless. I still remember crying on the phone with my mom after getting my prelim maths results. I had failed again, despite studying my hardest for it. I was left wondering what the point of studying was in the very first place, if my results weren't going to reflect my efforts. I really didn't know what else to do. And I was so sorry about being a failure, and thoughts of being a good-for-nothing kept me up at night. I had no direction, and without that, had zero drive. The day I received my A-level results, I hastily left the hall in case my friends asked for my grades. I could not imagine the shame of having to tell them that I would have to retake my A-levels. Thankfully, I passed everything, but my grades were definitely not good enough to get me into any of the local business schools. While I spent my time during army researching for alternatives, my mom was on her own secret mission of helping me apply for other courses in the local universities. I was half shocked and half amused when I received a letter of offer from the School of Material Science Engineering, when I didn't even apply for it. I tossed it aside. A few weeks later, I got a congratulatory note from NTU telling me of my successful acceptance. I jokingly told my mom to enroll in school if she's so enthusiastic about it. During the time I did the SIMG Diploma in Management Studies, I told myself I had no more excuses. This is what I want to do, and I'm going to give it my 100%. I found a second chance to pursue a business degree through the diploma, and I was not going to fall behind again. I needed to set goals and have a clear idea of the small steps that I would take to get there. And it's similar to when we are driving. Without a destination in mind, it's clear that all we're doing at the end of the day is going for a joyride. We burn a lot of fuel, but we get nowhere at the end of the day. Envisioning a destination enables us to work out the route required to get there, but having a destination and a planned route is not nearly enough. You need to actually have a vehicle and fuel for it. We are that vehicle, and the fuel we run on, it is determination. Every single morning when I cross the overhead bridge to get to school, I reminded myself that I want to be an SIM scholar, and I have 1.5 years to get there. Where do you want to be in 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years? And how are you going to get there? Having a goal doesn't mean the road traveled on will be obstacle-free. There were times during the diploma when my grades fell short of expectations, when my project group mates let me down, and when I just got plain lazy. But that's okay. There will be days where you encounter roadblocks, where you need to make a detour, and days where the engine just doesn't start. As long as you stay on track and keep moving, you will still reach your destination. The biggest upset to my plans was when I fell ill during the last paper in my final semester, and doing the retest meant that I would miss the commencement date of Manchester's program. And the next intake was 6 months away. This disrupted my original plan of completing the diploma and starting my degree without any long breaks in between. I managed to find a silver lining in all of that by doing an internship at a local startup. I gained so much in my time there, both in terms of experience and relationships gained. Sometimes, having to take a detour might allow you to chance upon a wonderful experience you might have otherwise missed out on if you haven't done that. And so, enjoy the ride. As I look back at my personal experience, I've come to realize that all those times I was lost, all I really needed was a little extra guidance to point me in the right direction. New paths can be daunting, and sometimes having someone as your personal Google Maps to show you all the possible routes to your destination makes all the difference. The network you surround yourself with and choose to learn from is vital in providing you with different perspectives or a little extra fuel when you need it. And I'm incredibly fortunate to have received guidance from so many wonderful and amazing people. There were times, and there will be times, when I'm exhausted and in dire need of some encouragement to carry on. My friends and family have played a huge part in cheering me on, for which I'm incredibly thankful for. Whether we are still on our journeys to our individual goals, or whether we have reached our respective destinations, let's never forget to express our gratitude to the people who have been ever-ready marshals or passengers on your journeys. At this point, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the marshals and passengers of my own journey. Mom and Dad, it's been a rough ride, especially during my IP and JC days, and I'm sorry for all the headaches and heartaches. And this car now has a destination. While the road there is definitely uphill, I promise you that the view up there is going to be worth it. Thank you for all that you've done, including helping me apply for university without my knowledge. May you're on a journey of your own, so keep going, and hopefully we'll do our parents proud someday. And a big thank you to my lovely grandparents who are not here today. My sincere thanks to SIM, of course, for giving us scholars this opportunity and for supporting our growth along the way. Thank you to my friends who have been fantastic soundboards and cheerleaders. And finally, thank you to all the scholars here with me today. And I wish you all the very best in your own journeys. Thank you.
Thank you, Waikit. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of the scholarship presentation, and would like to thank you for taking the time to attend this presentation ceremony, and would like to invite you to join us for refreshment at Foyer A of the Grand Hall. Scholars, we would like to ask that you remain in the room for a photography session. Thank you all once again, and we wish you a pleasant day ahead.
Thank you. Really? Yeah, good. Thank you. One more. One more. Hold on. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, scholars.
Okay, just a bit more. Oh, one more. This one, thank you. Okay, you know what I want? You know what I want? Thank you. Yeah, come on, everybody. Come on. Happy cheer. Thank